I'm strong in faith.
Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Hey, what's up, Abuja? Barka da yamma Kaduna. How are you all doing? Niger, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, how is today? How is life treating you? Oh, I'm so grateful to God. And I'm sure you're also grateful to God that today we are still breathing, we are still alive, we are still moving. Despite all the issues in life, God is still sustaining us, keeping us. All we can say at this moment is to say, God, thank you. Thank you for all that you have been doing for us. If you are listening to me now, I want to assure you that you are still alive for a purpose and God is not done with you yet, irrespective of what is going on. So you are welcome to the Woman's World. Yes. And you all know on the Woman's World is a program where we talk about us women. You know, say I dey always talk am for this show. They go talk say the day wey God create woman and the day wey wahala start. See, my girls all they laugh, but it's not true. Anyway, if you think say that so it be, whether you like it or not, now so God do am, and you go live with us like that, because whether you like am or not, now us be una wife. Now us be your mama, now us be your sister, now us be your friend, now us be your business partner. You're all welcome to the show. But like I always say on this show, you know, it's a Woman's World program, but we also cannot do without the men in our lives. And these men could be our husbands, they could be our fathers, they could be our brothers, they could be our bosses, they could be our mentors, they could be our pastors, they could be our malams, they could be our friends, they could be anybody out there who is a man. But most importantly, we appreciate men who know the value of a woman. Every man out there who knows the value of his mother. Every man out there who knows the value of his wife. Any man out there who knows the value of his sister, of his aunt, of his niece, of his grandmom, of any woman around his life, and give her the respect that is due to her. Today we salute you. We appreciate you. We want to acknowledge you and tell you that even though your wife doesn't always say, husband, thank you so much, I want you to know that deep down in her heart, there's this part of her that still says thank you. That even as a father, if your daughter doesn't always say, Papa, thank you, deep down in her heart, she knows and she acknowledges that you are her father. But in a very special way today, I want to acknowledge the men out there who say no matter how bad it is in their marriage or in their relationship, they are going to make it work. There are men out there, you are going through something right now, going through hard time in your marriage, going through hard time in with your fiancé, and you are like, no, this one, you don't dey pass my power. But on the second thought, you're like, okay, let me give this woman another chance. Let me give this relationship another chance. Not because of anybody, but because you want to be accountable, because you want to be responsible, and because you want to make things work. And then you want to make sure that you leave a legacy, that people remember that you're not a man that abandons a project that you have invested time, emotion, resources for. So we are every man out there who is doing his best, who as you are driving home, or you day house, or you day anywhere, as they hear this show, you to tell yourself, say, this weekend as I dey go house, that matter with me and madam get, we go sort them out. To every man out there like that, I want to say thank you. I know say we women sometimes when they try, we they misbehave sometimes, we they scatter table. But the fact that you're a man and you say, I know say she dey scatter table, but I will try to make this marriage work. I'll try to make this relationship work. If you're a man like that, may God bless you. May God honor you. And for you making that effort, may God reward you. If you dey follow me be woman, follow me say amen, no, because not be all men feel great for this kind of thing. Well, but for you sis, you know say this show now for me and you. This is a program where we encourage one another as women. It's not a program where we come and challenge each other as women. We cancel each other as women. We tell ourselves the truth. You know say for this show, me I don't sabi hide the thing. As you did, I say they talk am black and white. So people go talk say this way they talk, you know, make sense. So now olden days people low. Now this talk today. Now we want to encourage ourselves. Sis, I know say things no easy, but I want to remind you as a woman. You know, say as God create us now, God create us to show care. God create us to nurture. God create us to love. If you're a woman and you are listening to me, do whatever you need to do to help another woman. If you are in any position, help the best way you can. Wish your sister well. Wish another woman well. If you're in an environment, support another woman. If a woman is doing a business, encourage her. If you cannot reach out to that woman physically, pray for her. I can assure you now there are women who are expecting children, who have been married and their marriage is going through hell because they don't have children. If a woman out there and you know about it, pray for the woman. Don't gossip about her. If you know of a woman that her marriage is going through trouble right now, don't gossip about her. Pray for her peace in her home. There are women that are waiting for marriages, ladies who are good ladies waiting for a man to ask for their hands in marriage. Don't insult those ladies. Don't look down on them. Pray for them. I always say it on this show, whatever you sow, you reap. You can sow good things in the life of a woman by praying for that woman. A woman, you know that a woman is selling corn and she's telling the corn is 500 naira or is 300 and you can afford it. Why, sister, why not buy it? Why not say, hey, you make sure say because woman they poor, you go make sure say you bargain that corn to 100 naira when you can actually pay for that 500. Sometimes when you do that, it's not because of anything, it's to encourage the woman. It's better than she's staying at home and doing nothing. For her to be on the street is because she needs help. And she doesn't want to beg you. So all I'm trying to say is that as a woman, let us learn to encourage one another. Let us learn to support one another. Let us learn to pray for one another. And you never can tell, that show of love, that show of compassion, that show of empathy will go a long way to make a woman happy. And then you don't know, that happiness can go into her home. That happiness can go into every other areas of her life. And that is why today I am assured that, sis, as you they do life, make you should remember, say, you will need to help other women like you. Well, I am your host, Vic Alu, the Vic of the Alu, aka Lady V, on 91.3 FM Radio Maria. Don't mind me, I'm a producer. Leader, behave yourself. Today, you are welcome to yet another show, The Woman's World. I'm excited because today I'm not alone. I have a special guest in the house. And I don't want to talk much, Joe. Because I say last week, we scattered table. Last week, we talked about surviving life after divorce. Now, as we dey talk, one of the callers come call you, come talk something wey ginger my heart. I look for the caller. I tell my producer, go look for am anywhere where he dey. Make you come tell us. Say yes, not be say we dey support divorce. Not be say we want divorce. But if it be say if woman dey mess up, if it be say wetin be the place of the man? Wetin be the place of the man to make sure say that relationship still dey work? And that is why we'll go on a very short break, very brief break. When we come back, I'll get to introduce my guest to you. And then daddy, call momsy. Momsy, call sister. Sister, call brother. Fiancé, call fiancé. I been now which one are they call her? Because this thing we want to talk about today. If we can solve this problem today, if we can tell ourselves the truth about the topic we are just discussing today, we will be able to have a happy home. And if we have a happy home, we can have a happy society. And if we have a happy society, our children will be confident and we will make the right impact in the world. So don't touch the dial. We'll be back in a moment and we'll continue on the show. See you later. Yes, so you are welcome back to the show, and it is the Woman's World, and this is your host Vic Alu, the Vic of the Alu, aka Lady V, on 91.3 FM Radio Maria. And let me say this, you can always go to my Facebook, Victoria or Mata Alu, if you can join on Facebook, so you can also participate, drop your comments, your chats, and let us see how we can make the right impact. My producer just reminded me that I no talk say, I hope say now you they do live, don't be live, they do you. And I mean now, sis, make sure say now you they do live well. No allow life do you. No allow life damage you. So that you enjoy your life. Well, you're welcome back to the show. And I said before the show break, I said I have a guest today. I'll allow him introduce himself to you. Then we'll go straight to what we have to talk about today. Let's meet you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I want to appreciate the privilege and honor to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, my name is Engineer Maya Wafalabi. I said engineer because that is my profession. I'm a civil engineer.
Okay.
And then by profession, I'm into building construction and real estate business. And I'm an husband of one wife. Married, privileged now for 14 years.
Wow.
And then we are privileged to have 4 kings.
Wow.
4 boys.
The queen is coming.
We'll talk about that later, if I'm accepting that or not. So also I'm privileged to be a writer and an author.
Wow.
I'm author of 2 impactful books, a gift to my son and a gift to my daughter.
Wow.
These books, they're like a teacher, a mentor, a leader, or a pastor talking to young people, telling them this is what life is about.
Wow.
Don't cross this line. If you cross this line, this is what you see.
Wow.
But if you pass through this path,
You get
good
to your
your destiny.
Mm.
So that's a summary of what that book is all about. And that book is blessing a lot of lives all over the world. And then I'm also privileged to be a counselor.
Wow.
I'm a teacher.
Wow.
And I'm a teacher. I can teach, I can counsel, and a lot of other things by the grace of God. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Mr. Mayowa. And
Thank
that
you.
is why we are all expectant. Our hearts are open. Really want to hear from you today. Well, like I said, last week we had a conversation about surviving or a life after divorce. And we looked at it, like last week we said we're not going to judge whether it is the man that is faulty or it's the woman's fault or the man's fault, but we just want to deal with the challenge. Today we will be talking about, as a man, what is your responsibility in reviving a failing relationship? Because sometimes, most times people say, okay, the relationship, the issue of marriage falls on the woman. That the success of a marriage or a relationship is dependent fully or to a large extent on the woman. But we know that the woman is not possible, because the man also is part of the relationship, and there is a responsibility from the man in making it work. So let me start by asking this first question. When a man gets into a serious relationship, or when a man goes into marriage, what are his expectations in that marriage?
Expectations in the marriage varies. I would like to answer the question the way you answer. Now, most often than not, I as a leader, I try to use my story to answer some question. And I want to tell a story from what you just said now.
Okay.
When I was dating my wife, and I was about getting married to her, and then I'm in caucus of friends, and then they knew I was going to get married to her. Specifically, amidst that caucus, there are 1 or 2 persons who the criteria to want to propose to a girl is looking at the status of the girl's family. And then when I told my friends that this is the lady I was going to get married, one of them looked at me and made jest of me, that I'm just marrying a lady that the father is just so this level and status. So now what am I saying? You are asking what is the expectation of a man getting married. It varies. Another person may be to build a home, another person may be for some personal gain, and it's very funny and disturbing. Some person is for some self gratification. But marriage is supposed to be to build a home together. So the expectations vary. It depends on individuals.
So if a man out there, you are listening to us, I want to ask you, as you enter that marriage, what will you be the expect for your mind? Why you marry so that you go share the papa money with her. Abi, you marry so that you go satisfy your selfish interest, or na because you love this woman, you say you won't make you build home together. You need to answer yourself. Now you go answer this question yourself. Okay, sir, I want to ask another question. what are the major responsibilities of a man when he becomes a husband?
Okay, thank you. I love that question, and I'm ready to say a lot of things as I marry you now. I'm telling you, I can be running and saying it.
Please go ahead.
Number one, this is what I used to say as a counselor, as a teacher. Love is not what young people who are dating themselves, it is what they think it is. Now there's a part of the butterfly in the stomach. When you are coming together, that butterfly will be rumbling and be jumping, and then you're feeling it, and then you're thinking that is love. Yes, that's part of it. But love, this is the definition I give to love. Love is the commitment to the well-being of another. Which means, as a man, when you look upon a lady and you say, lady, I love you, what you are saying is that I am sold out to the and committed to your well-being. It means that you are going to do everything possible to make sure that the well-being of that lady is established, whatever price it is that you are going to take. So that is one thing, commitment to the well-being of that lady.
So as a husband, your commitment to the well-being of your wife.
Of your wife. All round, mental, spiritual, physical, all round. You are committed to the well-being, to the joy, to the happiness, to the growth, to the prosperity of that lady. And then secondly, let me add this to this. I want to give this analogy. I want to give it on what's going to come in. Now, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22 says, wives, submit yourself to your own husband. Now, it is always been taught and preached that the duty of a woman in a marriage is to submit to his own husband. Now, listen to this. It's going to be like a light and revelation to you that you are listening. Now, the word submit is taken from the action that is called submission. When somebody submits, the act is called submission. Now, submission is a combination of two English words. The first is sub, the other one is mission. Sub means subordinate, it means additional, it means supporting. So you can call it additional mission, supporting mission. Now what that means is that the man has the mission to build the home. The man is the custodian of the vision to build the home. And the woman just comes with a support, as a sub to the mission to build the home. Now, how can that be established? Why? The vision to start that home starts in the mind of the man. How did it happen? For instance, I was in the university. All through my university, there are a lot of ladies around me. You understand? Because of some status and things there. But as I was looking, there was none I could see as my wife. I met my wife during service here. And I'm the one that went to meet her. That lady, I love you. I want to marry you. So it means that there is a conception of a vision. There is a conception of a vision right inside of me as a man that I took to her. And then she now accepted to follow that mission. So man must make sure that the mission for the establishment of that home is established and is worked out. If you commit to the well-being of the lady, and then also you service the mission and the vision for establishing the home, in summary, you have committed yourself as a man to make a home.
Wow. Well, like you said, that was quite enlightening. But again, in that mission that the man has, let's say, like from the analogy you gave now, there are expectations we want to see in a man that is now a husband.
Yes.
What are some of the expectations, the responsibilities of a man in a home?
Number one is leadership. Take the lead in the home, which means that be in the forefront. You are not the type of man that is pointing the woman to go. You understand? There are some homes today, when it comes to prayer, is the woman that is always in the forefront. Gathering the families to want to pray. Be a man and be in the forefront of the spiritual growth of your home. Be in the forefront of the financial growth of your home. Be in the forefront of the mental growth of your home. Be a leader. So man must be a leader. And then number two, and it's a subtle number. Man must make sure he sets the right example. You cite the right example. Like for instance, as a man, and then it's your 5-year-old boy or 6-year-old boy. Go to that my neighbor's shop, go and bring me buy trophy for me. You are not setting the right example for that boy. You are destroying the life of that boy. So take a lead, set the right example in the home, and then practically commit to the well-being of your family. Practically commit to the well-being of your home, your wife and your children.
Please, can you elaborate? Committing to the well-being of your family.
It means that part of what you need to do is providing for the needs of your family. And like I said, I like to give a practical. It's not because of I'm a normal person. I am not proud, but I just feel with the grace God has given to me, I can say whatever things. So as I'm talking to you now, my wife has more certifications more than me. And it is deliberate and it is intentional. I will catch up with her. with the space of the years that we are coming, I push myself into creating opportunity for the family, providing for the need of the family. So I got a lot of busy with a lot of things. So she's not that as busy as me. So why she at that time, I am, you understand, I encouraged her, I support her. You understand, to build herself. I'm not in any competition with her. You understand? So by the time we get to a particular point, all the other certification that I need will definitely come for it.
Now, what are some of the issues that could lead to a marriage to fail? I want to say it in the man's perspective. What are some of the things that you think can make a marriage fail?
Okay, I'm going to list some number of things in succession, and then we'll talk about it from the man's perspective and a general perspective. The first thing is when there are differences in priority between the spouses. I will explain that briefly.
Please.
Now, the woman wants to live in Abuja. He has some friends that are living in Abuja. But the man wants to stay in Kaduna. He feels that there are some more opportunities for the family in Kaduna. But the woman likes the environment, the beauty, FCT of Abuja. So the priority of settlement is now different. It could become a bone of contention between the husband and the wife. It's just an example. And if it is not well managed, it could cause a fallout. That's one. Number two is crisis. By crisis, I mean after getting married, you discover that maybe, for instance, there's somebody that came to me, you got married as AS and AS. And by the time you got married, first child is SS, second child is SS, third child is SS. It's a major crisis. And then you may cause a fallout if it's not well managed. I have an example in my hand of a family where after they got married, they had 2 special need children. As I'm talking, I'm a father of my second son is a special need boy. He's an autistic boy. Now, this particular family, because they have 2 special need kids, the man tagged the woman as the cause of the children that are coming to them, which is lack of understanding. Let me put a pause there. I want to say this as my thought earlier. Let me add it at this point, that to be outstanding in life, understanding is at the root of it. To have an outstanding marriage, you must have an understanding of what it takes to make marriage working, to make marriage effective. So this particular man I'm talking about now lack the understanding, the basic understanding. How could you say the woman is at fault at producing special needs children? So because of that, the man walked away from the family. Okay, the other thing is poor communication, which is very much important. Most couples don't communicate. Neither do they understand what communication is all about. You understand? Poor communication. Number 4 is finances, which is very clear. You understand? Very critical. When the person is having this high and lofty anticipation, and then the family is not yet reaching to that level of anticipation, it could call a fallout if it is not well managed. The other thing I put down here is exposed monumental lies. I have an experience of this in counseling. It happens when you were dating, you were not truthful to yourself. The lady's womb has been removed. He didn't tell the husband. The man cannot perform well, and then he didn't open up. So they got married, and they came into the situation, and the lie became exposed. There's a particular lady who had a child living under their roof, who is her own biological child, but she said the child is her own cousin. 11 or 12 years down the line of marriage, the man discovered that the child is a biological child. It comes, it fall out. And then also infidelity. That one is clear. I don't know for explanation for that. And
no,
then also
explain no, because now men they do that one pass. You
no,
will explain that.
These days, you know, it's not a battle of man and woman. These days, there is a survey that says that even women does it past.
It's true.
You understand?
We had this conversation sometimes a couple of weeks ago.
You understand?
Women
you know, and it
actually,
was said that women does it and they are not caught, but man does it and they are caught. So that's the point. That's not the point we're discussing today. So
anyway, it's not a topic for today. I actually wanted to say something because if you find that most of the men say now, then they push the women go down. Though it is not it's not the reason. But
woman too can push man.
Okay,
I
agree.
I am available to discuss that another day. And the other thing is domestic violence. So I think I mentioned 7 things. Basically, everything may come around that could cause a fallout within a marriage, but it requires an understanding to be able to sail through.
Thank you so much. You said so much. To all our listeners, I hope you've been listening to Mr. Mayowa. He has said so much in a very short time. Before we go on a very short break, let me just ask this question before we go on a short break. Now, let's assume there is a marriage that is about to fail or has even failed because of this and other reasons that you have listed out now. What is the place of the man in making sure his marriage? You know, you said something about the marriage. A man has the mission of building a home. So it means it is not even the woman's idea. It is actually the man's idea. Now, this mission you have is about to fail. What is your responsibility as the man to make this thing work?
Pick up that mission.
Okay.
Review that mission.
Okay.
How do you do that? Remember what you saw when you saw the woman, when you wanted to the first time.
Hallelujah.
Remember what brought you. See, there is always something. There are 1,000,001 ladies outside there. There are 1,000,001 men outside there. You understand? I'm privileged as a person. My wife is the first person I dated, but before and got married to. But before her, there are 1,000,001 ladies I was saying around. I did not approach anyone. I came to service here and amidst the crowd as I saw her like this. There was something that connected within me. So the man go back to the base. What brought you to that man, to that woman? There is something more than trivial things that brought you together. You understand? What happens is that peripheral issue want to make you to forget that thing that brought you people together. Go back. If you can remember that thing that brought you together, the healing will start from that point.
The healing will start from the point when you go back and find out why did you even ask for her hand in marriage in the first place. We'll go on a very short break. In fact, I think one of the most shortest break ever on this show. And when we come back, we'll open the phone lines to hear from you as a man. What is your responsibility in reviving a failed marriage or a failing marriage? As a woman, what will you advise your son? How will you advise your husband? How will you advise your brother if he's in a relationship that is about failing or has even failed, but you still see that there is a prospect? We'll come back in a moment. Don't touch the dial. Yes, Michael Bolton, when a man loves a woman, he will do anything for that woman, except if the man don't love the woman. You are welcome back to the show, and it is the woman's world. And today I have Mr. Mayowa, and we are discussing something very interesting. And for those who have been listening, I'm sure you have gained, you are still gaining, and we just thank God for this conversation today. Before we proceed, I just want to, and before I open the phone lines, I want to also remind us that the Vic Alu is trying to open a woman support group where women can join the group. It's a group where we get to meet once in a while, and every woman is allowed to express herself, express her pain, express her fears, and nobody is going to be judged. But under the atmosphere of God, we can encourage one another, support one another. Sometimes it's just for us to hear you, sometimes it's for us to support you whichever way you can. And if you are interested in joining that support group, because hopefully we'll be having our first meeting in a very short time, we want you to call this number 081 I'll give you the number to call. Then you can call and indicate that you want to join the support group, and then we can make arrangements. And the number to call for that is 081 084 47518. Just drop your name and your phone number and say, I'm interested in joining the woman support group. I'll call it again, 081 084 47518. Please call and let us hear from you. So, sir, is there something you want to say about the first caller?
I think that's the basic thing we heard from him. What we say here is, from what he actually said, take responsibility as a man. If you take responsibility, then you find result. You understand? Marriage is work. Marriage is work. It requires two workers, but the man can be in the forefront, taking a lead, taking responsibility, so that you can make the marriage work. As you take responsibility, you definitely see results.
What else will you say to a man, a brother out there who is actually thinking about giving up on his marriage, whether or not it is his fault? What will you tell a young guy, or somebody who's even in a very serious relationship and is like, I think I'm fed up? What will you tell that person?
Number one, I will tell that person to keep the mission and the vision ahead of him or her. If you don't have, you can develop a mission and a vision. When I met my wife, I had a mission and a vision of building a very spectacular home.
Wow.
That will be impactful both spiritually and in the nations of the earth. Remember the mission and the vision. This is very much important. The problem we have is that most relationships are consummated without mission, without vision, without a good intention. They are consummated on the wrong motives. Put that motive and the mission before you. And then number two, I used to say this. It is not in the Bible, but I believe there is a reward somewhere at the end of the age for a man and a woman who persevere together, who work together and build a home together. That's a reward. We might not be able to substantiate as a reward in heaven, but in this earth, there's a reward. The reward is the seed you left behind will be prosperous. The seed you leave behind will be. See children from broken homes, they are scattered. You understand? That's a reward. If you think about that reward, if you think about the mission and the vision, then you give yourself everything it takes to make sure that relationship or that home works. Even if you are the one that you are the receiving end, you receive it.
You know, the guest that came in last week, one of the things she said that struck my mind is that sometimes when two people are married and they are not mentally at the same level.
Yes,
especially
I heard that.
If the wife is, for instance, if the wife is more mentally matured than the man.
Yes.
It causes problem.
It causes problem.
If you are in a relationship and you find out that there's that mental instability,
imbalance. Mental imbalance.
How will you?
I understand perfectly well. What you need, number one, you need patience with that particular spouse who is at the lower of mental whatever level. You need patience with that person. Don't always.
How much patience?
as much patience as love would take. The Bible says love does not fail, which means that this patience we're talking about, that is premise of love, has a very long elasticity that will not break. You have to have patience with that person. You are married. And I want to say this to young people who are yet to marry. You may want to survey the mental compatibility of that particular spouse before you marry that particular person. But if you feel that all indices are okay, mental compatibility may not be too full enough reason for you not to say you're not going to marry your person. So what you need, number one, patience. And then number two, help that person to develop. Those are the two things: patience and help that person to develop. You understand? What you're saying now is I am like this in my home, my wife is following me. That is why I am putting all development on her. I'm pushing her, and she's coming up. You understand? So you have to be patient, and then number two, deliberately invest in that person and help the person to come up.
081-084-47518. You can call in, you can drop your SMS or your WhatsApp. Let us hear, what is the advice would you give, or what experience will you have to say to a marriage that is breaking up or is about to break up? What will you do? What will you tell the man in the house? Today we are focusing on the man, because we know, like I always said, most time we say it is the woman's fault, but we want to hear, what will you tell a man that is in a relationship or in a marriage is about to fail? 081-084-47518. Sir, there's this other area. You know, the economy is really harsh right now. I know one of the areas you talk about is being able to, you know, make sure the well-being of the family is intact. Now, and we have found out that sometimes the reason why we have issues is the area when the man is not able to live up to his responsibility. What will you tell a man that is in this fix right now, that is in this serious economic hardship now? What will you tell him?
I was sharing a thought to you. So when it comes to about finances and the situation, most couple have, there is this unrealistic anticipation and expectations that some couple have. By that I mean, you know that the level you are, you should be living somewhere in a one-man village after Maraba. You understand? You will get a house there that you can live. But one of the spouses may be pushing that go and get a house in zone 1. Go and get the one in zone 2.
We have another caller. Hello, good evening. Hello? Oh, we can please try and call in. We want to hear from you, sir. I was listening to that example.
And then I'm going to give my own personal example again. When I got married to my wife, I'm not ashamed of this. It's an old story. 14 years. I left a friend's house to go and marry my wife because I heard the Lord said to me, go and marry. By the time I finished marriage, I came to my friend's house. It was 2 weeks in my friend's house that we moved into a house.
Wow.
By the time we move into a house, this will bring a link to a lot of family. Listening to me, I'm telling you, it will rearrange your understanding. By the time we moved to our personal house, we don't have a bed. It was wrappers that we put on each other that we're sleeping on. And my wife never disturbed me for one day. We were sleeping on cloth and wrapper for another almost 3 weeks. Today, if you want to come to my house, I'll take you to my house.
Wow.
You will see heaven right in my house where we're living today over the years.
Wow.
You understand? So there's a need for couples to have an understanding of what they are going through, and knowing that when they go through, they are going to come through, and that's not the end of their stay.
We have another caller. Hello, good evening. Hello? Yes, good evening. Your name and where are you calling from? Okay, can you speak out louder?
The call is calling again.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, good evening, sir. Your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Okay, my name is Kote. I'm calling from the.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
Please, I want to ask again. Although I joined the program today,
Okay.
but I like the example you just making now. Like you have your partner, one of the partner, you know the level of your income, and you're trying to live according to your income, but the other partner try to like what to live above the income of the house. So I don't really know. Another partner, let's say the wife, she has the means to do that, but she refuses to do that because she knows the man is not capable of doing that, and she's forcing him to do that. What can it be with advice to the man?
It's a very, 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 very dicey situation. We need to go back to the root of the connection, what connected the spouses together. Because at that root is where we'll understand and know the commitment that both spouses is going to have to the marriage. If you understand that you have a duty to work your marriage, either you are the man or you are the woman, you own all the resources and finances. My own view is that even if it is the woman that is making the money, with the right understanding that you know that both spouses are workers, both spouses have the duty of working the home, the woman will put it down, even on her knees, that my husband, I brought this down. You see, I grew up in a situation where my dad was retrenched very early. When I was in primary one in 1986, I was just in primary one. I'm the last in my family. My dad was retrenched. The load of the family came upon my mother, and my mother came at the family meeting and sat us down. Said, "Come, children, your father is retrenched. We need to take on this family." It's at that point that the family, my eldest brother want to enter the university. My elder sister is going to secondary school. Some of my that level of responsibility. We need. My mom said we need to go into farming. We need to do business. We need to be up and doing now. My mom was on the front line of making this thing happen, and then over the years we sailed through. What I will advise is that you need to sit down with your wife and then have communication with her.
Exactly, because
heart to heart talks.
Yes, because I think there was a time we had this conversation on this show where some women have the opinion that some men are not completely open about their financial status.
That's another problem.
There are a lot of men who their wife don't know how much they actually earn.
Lack of trust.
So thank you. So when the man says, "I don't have money," she's thinking in her mind that okay, maybe he has money somewhere, and because he knows I have money somewhere, he wants to push me to bring the money.
I'm not saying this is the situation there. There are other men who is sponsoring another system somewhere, who comes to the main home and says that I don't have money. So the situation is always dicey. But if there is need for trust in this, if you're listening to this, if the woman trusts you and you trust the woman, then you can come together and have an open heart-to-heart conversation and then seek the woman's support, so that you can come together and invest. And one of the premises that you can do that as a man is when you have shown responsibility. You have shown that even though it is low today, you are doing the best you can do to improve the system. If the woman sees you and he knows that you are generally doing that, I believe you can get her support.
Something. All right. Well, I hope that answered that question. Honestly, we are running out of time, and I was told Mr. Mayowa that by the time we start talking, we will know when it's 1 hour already. I want to really appreciate all those who called in. And Mr. Mayowa, your last thoughts on this before we just sign out.
What I want to say is that we must understand that marriage is work. It requires two workers, but among the two workers, the man is the leader. The man is the one setting the example. The man is in the forefront. If you are not tired working, if you do not give up working, you can make every home work. Don't give up working. Keep working together. Keep the mission be in front of you and keep moving. You will have disagreement. You will have low time, but don't lose sight of the mission. Come together again. Then you can make the best of that home.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayowa. We really appreciate your coming today. For all those who called in, want to say a big thank you. For all those who sat back and listened and are picking the lessons, just like as I am, thank you so much. I want to appreciate all my crew, the producer and her team. I want to appreciate all those who have been supportive of this program. I want to use the opportunity again to inform you that we are forming the Women's Support Group. If you're a woman and you want to be part of the support group, which hopefully will be meeting very soon, where every woman is allowed to express herself, to share her concern without being judged. But under the atmosphere of God's presence, we are able to advise ourselves, counsel each other, and then maybe become better versions and become better mothers, better sisters. We would love to really hear from you. And your numbers, you can call in this number, drop your name and say, I want to be part of the support group, so we can reach out to you. And the number to call is 081-084-47518. I will take it again, 081-084-47518. If you're a lawyer, you're a policewoman, you are a counselor, you are an experienced mother, a woman that has gone through so much, and you feel you can still advise women, whether they are married or single or going through whatever it is, you can still join the support group. Let us encourage each other as women. Let us become better versions of ourselves. I cannot but say thank God for today's meeting. Mr. Mayowa, I don't know if anybody wants to reach out to you, because I know there's a few men who really, as a counselor, there are men who, because this is the woman's world, there's so much I can do, but to an extent. Could you quickly drop your phone number for men who want to reach out to you and speak to you directly?
Okay, I wouldn't mind. My phone number is 080-3207-0930. Let me take it again, 080-3207-0930. You can call me directly or send WhatsApp. I'll be very available to listen and attend to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And from me, I'll see you same time next week. We'll talk about interesting topic again. From me, Vic Alu. Continue winning. Continue being the best. See you. Bye.